Well, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Voyage of Empowerment teaser series, where we're going to meet amazing people who are coming to join us on an empowerment journey of a lifetime. And I'm Ashley T. Brundage, your founder and president and author of Empowering Differences. It's a time where we can actually take empowerment to create change for others. And I have to tell you, there are some major empowerment steps to remind people about, because empowerment moves in every single moment, in every single conversation, when you build relationships with people. That's why I researched empowerment for 8 years, and I came up with the 4 empowerment steps to drive empowerment for people. And it all starts with you, because knowing yourself is step 1 in that empowerment journey. That's where you will learn about how you exist in this world, what you have going on. So you'll have to be able to take my empowerment self-assessment. The self-assessment are curated questions that get to who you are in this world and how you drive empowerment for people, how you connect with your own comfort zone. Because as we learn and grow throughout the world, that's where change happens. And then you'll meet amazing people on a journey, just like you're going to meet them today. And that's where you will know others, is step 2 in the empowerment journey. And that will connect you to really start digging deep around the differences that we have as humans. Well, I studied these 10 most common differences, and I saw lots of things to realize around privilege and disprivilege. Because your makeup will have a big impact as to where empowerment lives for you. And so you'll want to definitely download my differences assessment, which you'll find right here on this link. Definitely go there and check that out and download the differences assessment, because it will help you really categorize where you live and where empowerment lives for you. But it's really going to help you to build a strategy for all of your 10 differences. Each one has potential empowerment moments waiting to be seized by you in that setting. And then you will take action. And the empowering actions is the last step in the 4-step empowerment process. Each action has the ability for you to connect empowerment with the corresponding action to drive impacts for people. And the impacts have to be measured. And I'll tell you, the best way to measure impacts is to know exactly what you are doing and how it's growing and how we're creating change. And one of my most favorite ways to do that is through the empowering action of invest. And I'll tell you that we have a special guest today who is gonna bring it in and bring it home and tell us all about how you can navigate change and utilize all of our differences. But without further ado, Kelly is here to join us. Hey, Kelly, how are you?
I'm so good. Thanks for having me on today, Ashley. This is kind of like the best live I've been on, so this is exciting.
Yay. Or wait, maybe it's the most empowering one.
Yes, most empowering. Absolutely.
So I'm so excited for people to learn about you and hear about your organization. But you know what? Maybe I should play the video clip first.
Yes. I think my hair looks a lot better in my video, so go ahead and roll that.
Let me do that.
Alternative Wealth Partners is a Dallas-based private equity company that manages diversified funds of alternative assets. Our mission is to make private equity understandable, accessible, and profitable for real people. Traditionally, private equity has a reputation of being complicated and exclusive. This is because the industry lacks transparency as well as diversity in the management that would allow more people to participate. But AWP seeks to remove these barriers by allowing the public into the alternative investment space under the guidance of a passionate fund manager.
So I'm happy to be on here today. Just kind of go into detail more about my background. I've been in the alternative space for over a decade, and I've experienced all types of things in the businesses that I've worked with raising capital. The alternative space is specifically everything off of Wall Street. So this does not include stocks, bonds, or traditional currency investments. This can be real estate. This can be oil and gas. This can be renewable energy. Cryptocurrency falls into that space. A lot of people are invested in alternatives without even knowing about it. The problem that I saw when I created Alternative Wealth Partners a few years ago was that there was messaging that was not getting to minority groups. I was constantly pushed away from including people with different backgrounds into the private investment space. And I wanted to create a company that would open doors for people, because the only people in the country that have money are not older, white, and male. At this point where we are as a country, lots of people are business owners. Lots of people have been able to create new wealth for themselves and for their families, and start the path of generational wealth. And the only way that you can continue that is by having access to new alternative investments. So we provide a lot of content for people to start learning about the alternative space, even if they aren't at a point where they can start investing in alternatives. Private equity still remains exclusive to the high net worth and high income earners. So unless you have $1 million net worth or you're making over $200,000 a year, you can't invest. However, it doesn't mean that you can't start learning about these things. One of the most empowering things that you can do is invest in yourself and educate yourself about things that you don't necessarily have access to in your day to day. So you want to try to find people that you admire and connect to what got them there. How can you start learning about what they're doing with their time and their money and their network to advance yourself into that type of space? I'm really excited to partner with you, Ashley, on the Empowerment Cruise, because there are things that I don't even know, but I do know that investing is not only with your money, but with yourself, can be the most powerful part of that messaging. But I'm excited to learn about everything else, grow as myself, and hopefully share what we're doing as Alternative Wealth Partners and our team here, to kind of spread the message and have some more equity and inclusion in the financial space in general. So we're excited to join you on the cruise. I know. There you are.
I'm here, I swear.
Yeah.
um, no, thank you. I'm so excited to have you join as well. I mean, honestly, I worked 11 years in the financial services industry, as you know, and I've seen firsthand around who manages funds and who's involved in the space and who's making these kinds of decisions, right?
Yes.
And it's like it doesn't always reflect marginalized people, and it doesn't usually reflect people who are inherently different.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so thrilled to be hosting an empowerment journey when bringing together so many different voices. We have more than a dozen speakers who are coming on this conference, who all are expertise in their own right, who could literally be the keynote speaker basically at a conference. And I think that everyone has a chance to join in and attend. There's like 12 rooms left. I think it's about 12 when I last looked. So definitely people want to go and make reservations. If you're thinking about making a reservation, there's obviously a link to do that, and you can access that, and I can share that. But yeah, so here is the reservation site, and you can check that out. It's also available right on my website at empoweringgdifferences.com. But for those that can't see tiny little print, here we go. It's an all-inclusive cruise and conference where everything is kind of all added together, whether that be drinking package, whether that be the alcohol variety or the non-alcoholic variety. Internet, because you have to have internet to be access to be connected to things in this world, as we all know. So that's included in that. Plus, I think we're going to be doing an empowerment excursion where we're going to be giving back treasured, measured resources to a school in Cozumel, Mexico.
It's amazing.
Right? This is so, I mean, empowerment happens in every moment, and whether you track it or seize it, I think that that's what we're really going to focus on. There's going to be empowerment, accountability. There's going to be mindfulness and meditation sessions. All of those things are going to drive impacts. So you definitely want to be there and make a reservation. If people are on the fence, you can go right on the reservation site, and there's some coupon codes floating out there. I do have, I'm still offering the VOE 200, so you get 200 off your reservation. So definitely use that coupon code. And yeah.
If you're on my network, I'll send you guys links. If you send me a message on LinkedIn, I can send you the reservation link directly, or set that up with you. We'll be probably sending out a newsletter to include the reservation link as well in the next week or so for those that are partnered with us or signed up for our newsletter. This is just a really important thing, and I love the excursion opportunity because one of the important things about investing, especially when you look at the information surrounding women in investing, is that more of our dollars as women make it back into the community, and we're more purposeful with our money. So AWP does this a lot in the way that we invest. When we invest in small businesses, we really take into account how it's affecting their community. How many people are they going to be able to hire? What kind of people are they going to be able to hire? And can we give opportunity to new groups of people in that community? So it's definitely a huge part of what we do.
Yeah. And then, the other thing is, we were just talking about marginalized communities, and I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, right? I'm assuming you have. Think about all the people that work in the cruise line industry and how hard they were hit from the coronavirus pandemic. So it's an opportunity to also give back to an industry that needs our support, because those people around the world that are hired, right, to work on a cruise ship is usually people from marginalized communities that don't get an opportunity to be in this kind of environment. So yeah, it's pretty neat when you look at all the other layers of what's happening here.
Yeah, and it's exciting because like the ourselves included, and the people that I hope join us are going to be really wonderful people just to have on the boat and have those interactions with the staff, because I think we're very different than most people that are on the cruise. So I think that they also get something out of us being there. So we want to try to make an effort to, look them in the eye and tell them hello and thank you for their time. So.
Yeah, and you bring up such a great point here, because I think like how we interact with other people, right? It's like way deep into relationship building. Just simple things like hello, goodbye, please, thank you, and also saying them in other languages. That's one of my favorite things. That's why language is like one of the 10 most common differences that we hold as humans. Because at the end of the day, how you navigate, how you communicate with others is like a sign of respect. I know you travel a lot internationally.
Yeah.
Just what you think about the connecting through language.
Yeah, you have to, like, if you aren't traveling internationally and you've thought about it, probably the biggest, most important piece of advice I can give you is like at least learn the basics of wherever you're going. Please, thank you, can you help me? Do you speak English in their own language? Like, don't just walk up to them and say like, I only speak English. Can you like figure it out? It's just that because they respect that you've at least taken the time to be like, I'm sorry, I don't speak English, or whatever language you're speaking. Can you help me anyways, or do you know somebody that can help me? So it's something that I strive to do when we go out of town anywhere, is at least learn the basics of please and thank you.
Yeah.
Help
So
me.
I'm totally the same way. So that's awesome. In fact, interestingly enough, last night I'm in Vegas, and in fact, like literally the Bellagio fountains are like right there, which is kind of cool. And so I was out last night, and nightclub thing, and it was really fun. But nonetheless, I saw someone who was from Thailand, and we were chatting about this earlier, but I go to Thailand usually every year, and my sister lives there, so
Mhm.
we started chatting, and we were chatting in Thai, like the cordial, like
Yeah.
here we are in Las Vegas talking Thai, and then I go on my phone and I live video my sister in Thailand,
That's
and
amazing.
the woman that I was speaking with last night, she started crying because she could see Thailand and she hadn't seen the country in like a while.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, like literally last night.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but it's just it's neat how you have to connect with other people and you have to remove your that's the idea here is removing yourself from your normal day-to-day actions and normal day-to-day leadership events and conferences,
Yeah.
and it's you have no idea what you're about to get into.
Yeah, and the cruise, we're actually going to 2 different countries, right? We're gonna
Yeah,
choose.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to first we're going to Cozumel, Mexico, and then after that we're going to the Bahamas, and we're actually going to Royal Caribbean's private island in Coco Cay. So it's like kind of all inclusive on the island. So it's all so you can do whatever you need to do there, which
That's
is really
amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
If you
And
if you have not been on a cruise, this is a really kind of a cool cruise because it's like the perfect amount of time and you get to see so much. Um, outside of the conference being the main reason you're there, but you do get to experience everything outside of that too.
yeah. So tell me a little bit more about what prompted. I know I watched the video around why you started the fund, but can you go a little deeper on that? Because I think it's important for people to really understand like the financial world and why empowerment is so important to this.
Yeah. So I can only speak from like my perspective, which is I'm a gay woman, right? So my exposure in the financial world is that there's very few of us. There's very few women in general who are making financial decisions, or even in like financial services, people who are helping you make financial decisions. And while I'm not a financial advisor, I work with a lot of financial advisors who um, struggle to find clients that look like them, and it's because they don't get enough exposure that they exist, right? So my it's really important for me to try to help clients find people who look and have experienced things like them because they're the only ones who can really understand your financial situation. I'm never going to know what a Black woman has gone through financially in her life because I am not a Black woman. But if you find a financial advisor who is that, looks like you, or has similar experiences with you, like you've talked about the differences between people, is that in the services world, you have to find people who have those differences with you in order to help you grow. And so that was something that was really important to me. So I make sure that my team is really diverse because when people come to our website and people run into us at conferences, I want them to like look around and see like, oh, I'm represented here. And I feel okay talking about what my goals are financially or what my struggles are financially so that we can either connect them to somebody who can help them or we are the solution. I decided to become a fund manager specifically because I just watch the people who are making the decisions at the fund level, and there's no diversity there. It's the same group of people who have been making the decisions since the beginning of time, and even though they have initiatives to hire more women in the boardroom or more women on the leadership team or maybe a more ethnic board, like any of these things. It's really just kind of a here's my sticker of accomplishment, and they're not actually making the final decisions in these things. They express an opinion maybe, but ultimately it's the same group of people making the same decisions. So I wanted to create a space that we could take our thought process into consideration and start to invest that way. And I think that the investors that partner with us um, enjoy that insight. We provide a lot of transparency that isn't normal in private equity. Usually private equity is like very behind closed doors, and you'll get the information we decide we want to share with you, because it operates very differently than like a publicly traded company where everything has to be published. So we kind of provide that transparency, that insight to our partners so that they're part of the process. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't control all of their money. I have a little bit of their net worth maybe. And I want them to be confident going into other decisions that they'll make regarding their portfolios, because of the information that we share freely in our company. We invest in a lot of different types of things. I mean, our fund is literally a diversity fund, and
Oh, I was like, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. You were rocking and rolling, and now I can't hear you. Well, you can always leave and come back if you want to try that. You know, it's almost like, well, actually, you know what? I I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, if you click out, well, that might kill your. Oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. So at the bottom, you should see there's a little circle that has a picture of a microphone. Is it X'd out with the circle? Oh, I wonder if maybe it's me. Oh no, the time is ticking on this, so it must be. Yeah, let's see here. Is me. Oh no, the time is ticking on this, so it must. Yeah, this is definitely not me. Okay, because we are still live.
I think did that work?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yay! Sorry for the
technical
difficulties. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on a second. I can't hear you.
Oh. Then that would be like laptop sound. So, there we go. I'll play some music. Since I am the DJ.
Hold on a second.
So I've been working on setting up a lot.
Can we hear you?
Yes. Hi. Wow.
I don't know what happened to my speakers. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Well, so it's interesting. So I'm super glad that you got a chance to join us for a short time, but we can always come back and talk more, of course. And I know I'm busy setting up the Voyage of Empowerment and the amazing speakers that you're going to see. Here's a quick clip of that. We're here setting up, ready for the Voyage of Empowerment, so that way you can come and take your empowerment to the next level. So we will see you soon on the Voyage of Empowerment. Sign up today, make your reservations, connect and learn more with alternative wealth partners, because they are the real deal and they have all of your diversity thoughts in mind. And thank you so much for joining.